Do you hate your job but can't leave because you need the money? That used to be me too. Join my team down below and I will teach you the skills that you need to crush it online. I believe in you.
Today we're going to have a great conversation with a great man who I have had the privilege to meet, and just the fact that we are actually on this call today just shows you that you can meet anybody anywhere in the world. Marcus, I met you in the beginning of 2020 and it has been an awesome journey knowing you, getting to know you, learning from you, and really being part of your knowledge, sharing your knowledge with me. So today I really want to thank you for doing the Zoom with me, because I want to reach out to people out there that's battling in either sales, in multi-level networking, entrepreneurs battling to get customers. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what line of work you're in. The main thing is you need people to buy your products, you need people to join your team, or you need customers to actually buy from your store. So if you don't mind, I'm going to actually ask you questions, impart your knowledge with the rest of the world as well, and it's going to be awesome to hear this. I'm really excited.
Yeah, me too. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm really grateful for the chance to share whatever knowledge that I have from my mentors and be able to pass that along so that other people can have success as well. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, thank you. So Marcus, maybe just before we get started, can you perhaps just tell me a little bit more about you? What is your background? What do you like? What do you love to do? What do you do for fun? And how you got involved into network marketing. But just give me a bit of background about yourself.
So absolutely, great question. So I began in this industry about 9 years ago. I was introduced to a friend of mine who wanted to take a look at an opportunity he was doing. I saw it. I just put my big toe in at that moment. It wasn't something I was truly passionate about at that time, but at the same time, I didn't know. Nobody had told me about this business model. I thought you did the 9 to 5. That's what my parents did. No one told me about entrepreneurship and having potentially a large income based on your own thing. I was always taught, trade your time for money, right? But at the time, I was doing another business. I was running my own Kung Fu school at the time. But for various reasons, I had to leave. And that's what I've been doing my whole adult life. So, I had, bills coming in, and I had no way to support myself. So I took whatever job there was that I thought there was, right? So I went to a supermarket and was a cashier, a teller there, right? And as I think back, in school, if you think you're like boring in school, it's like maybe I have 1 year, maybe I have 2 years, maybe I have 3 more years, but then it's done, and then I can do the other things. I was thinking to myself, okay, this is not very fun. Okay, when will I be done with this? And I did the math, and it's like, wait, what? 40 years? If I don't figure something out, I'm gonna be stuck here 40 years. No, not going to happen. Suddenly, that thing that I only dipped my toe in before became so much more interesting, right? Because my situation changed, right? And then I jumped in and I made every mistake imaginable. Then I learned from it, and I got mentors, people that had the results that I wanted, and I followed them. I learned from them, and then I took action. And from there, rest is history. So improving myself, reading books, listening to audio tapes, having a mentor, someone who's willing to share with you how they got there, someone who is older than you, maybe 15, 20 years older, and that can give you a real perspective on things and has the results that you want. That's super important. You shouldn't take advice from someone who hasn't got the advice that had the results that you want, because obviously those advice didn't work out very well for that person, right? So those are the things that really get me started, and then it was, trial and error. So I'm super excited about this, and when I first started, it was all about the money, all about the money. The person that I was working with, he called me on the phone, and he was like he's not in the company that I'm doing now, but this is a long time ago. So he called me, so like, Marcus, we're having a huge momentum in our business, right? So and he told me that in the last 48 hours, he had made more than I would have done in 2 months, working full time. I'm like, I'm in the wrong industry. you know, there are no income claims whatsoever. There are no guarantees. He is super, super successful. He has 20 years of experience doing this, but it wasn't even possible where I was. And I knew if I get a shot of at least 10% of that, I would be very happy. Then I had to do something else, right? So that's how I started. Once I went through that journey, it became more and more important to give back, because I went through that journey, and if I can do it, other people can do it. So now I like more helping other people, finding people who are open-minded, who are not satisfied with where they are, but at the same time they're coachable, want something more out of life, and is willing to put in the work. And having those people around me, having a community of people who are success oriented, who are positive, who's constantly helping and lifting each other up to take their business and their life and every aspect of it to the next level, is super, super amazing. So that's what I'm all about now: the community, the people, helping people. That's not what I started, but that's why I continued.
Awesome. How does one deal with the fear of rejection?
The fear of rejection. This is a big one, something that I struggled with a lot in the beginning. And anytime you have to be in front of other people, whether you want to do a presentation, maybe you want to, prospect someone for your business, or ask someone out on a date, there's gonna be some fear, so you're afraid of being rejected, right? So I'm gonna come at this from different angles, right? So I generally believe it's not what happens to us, but it's how we look at it, right? You might think, or I thought in the beginning, that I was being rejected, right? That I was losing something, right? But I then realized that by not taking the chance, that I was failing, but not doing the chance, because of not taking the chance. At this point in my life, I'd rather take the no any time of the day, because then I know, I don't have to think about what ifs, right? So how do you get from being there, overcoming that first, fear? And I've thought a lot about this, and I've gone through tons of self-development to continuously improve myself. I've read a lot of books, too many books, so many books, in fact, that I only read books and never took any action. So I learned all the things, but I never applied it. Why? Because of how I saw myself. Someone once said something that was very profound. You can never outperform your self-image, right? So if you see yourself, compared to the other, as someone who has lower value with nothing to give, you come from that energy, then it's going to be an uphill battle, right? But if you can wrap your head around, if you take network marketing for an instance, that you have an amazing opportunity, and what you're actually doing is that you're blessing the other person. You're giving them a chance, to go from where they are to where they want to go. If this vehicle is something that they want to use or not, that has nothing to do with me. So taking myself out of the equation, seeing myself not as lower than other people, but on the same level, actually sharing value with people, and this is an understanding that I came to that made it so much easier. How you can go about doing that is, you know, constantly push yourself, even if something feels a little bit hard, do it anyway, because your future self will, will really appreciate it. So that's what I have.
That's awesome. And I mean, like, how do you actually stay positive even when you don't see results?
Yes, absolutely. This is a big one. It's easy in the beginning to get, super excited. Just, yeah, I'm gonna go all in, and then, the days pass by, the weeks pass by, nothing happens. You're sharing it with everybody and their cat, and nobody is interested. How can you keep moving forward? And this is a really cool thing that I learned, and it is about visualization, right? Someone calls it the vision board. So I have a vision board in front of me right now. It's of the dream house that I want to live in Spain, and the car that I want to drive, a white Porsche, right? So I'm constantly selling myself on the idea, because if you're not sold on the idea, you can't sell it to other people as well. But you must also have this enthusiasm yourself, because here's the thing. Whenever you go to bed at night, if you see yourself living in the reality that you want, then you're already living in the end game, and you know that you will get there. As my mentor said to me, we are in the people business, and we need a lot of people for our business, but we don't need any one individual person, right? So even if I talk to, say, 20 people and all of them say no, I still have my dream. I still know where I am going, and I'm not dependent on these people to take me from where I am, because my goal, my vision is so much bigger. So because I see the end game, I can continuously go from rejection to rejection without losing enthusiasm, because I know that without no's, I will never get any yeses.
Absolutely. Well, that makes sense. And also, what you're really saying is don't let the situations, don't let people's negativity, don't let rejections get you despondent. Focus on your dream, focus on your goal, and it will take you there. That's
Absolutely.
What do you do when you can't seem to get to the next level?
We have a tendency to fool ourselves sometimes, right? We have a tendency to fool ourselves. We're thinking, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing so much, why isn't anything happening, right? But we have a selective memory. We only remember the things that we would like to remember, right? So what I want to come at is numbers don't lie. So if you keep an activity journal, for instance, so that you see what you're doing, and what you really want to do is that you want to look at this from a mathematical perspective. We're talking about the law of averages. So when you in your activity calendar or tracker or whatever you have, you want to find your batting average, right? So if your goal is to have 10 people in your team, you must figure out how many people on average do I need to talk to in order to get one person to join, right? Because if I know that in the beginning, I might have to talk to 30 people to get one, then I know where I'm at and I need to structure my strategy around that. Then it's not enough for me to talk to 1 or 2 people per day if those are my numbers, if I want to have any significant results. So what this comes down to is consistency. We've heard that it's a numbers game, but what people think is that they can just, send a spammy message to a lot of people and some of them will hook, and that's not what it means. It means being consistent. So consistently doing something. Let's say, for an instance, maybe if you have a tool, right? So you have a tool, you have a video, and you need to share it with 10 people on average to get one person, right? And you have a goal of getting 5 people. Great. Now you know that on average, you need to talk to 50 people. So during your week, if you say that you're working from Monday to Friday, you need to at least show your presentation, show your video to 10 people per day, and if you consistently do so, the math will work in your favor, right? But if you're just going at it willy-nilly and you go 30 people one day and then you take a break for 3-4 days and then you send a couple of emails and then, oh, I'm doing so much stuff. But no, consistently, consistently doing it, then you will see results. And when you will teach that to the people that end up going in your team, you will have duplication as well, and it will grow quicker and quicker.
So consistency is key, really, to keep duplicating it, keep doing it every single day, no matter what.
Absolutely.
And just stay consistent with that.
Yeah, and you need a tracker to know. Otherwise, you're just going in the dark, and you have no idea, you have no clear direction, or you have no clear, activity plan what to do. So that you need to see what it looks like.
Yeah, it makes sense, because if you want to up your game and you want to get 5 people, you need to know how many people you need to talk to get that result. So you need to track it.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's no magic to it. And if you're having like 30 presentation, you're not getting anyone, you need to look into your approach. Okay, there are many fundamental skills, actual skill sets that you need to learn, and I can share more about that later. But you should go at it as this is a craft. Same as you would study a subject at school, you should study the fundamental principles of how to become successful in network marketing with the same intensity and with the same enthusiasm.
So tell me, Marcus, how do you create momentum in your team?
Momentum. So you want to get people excited. You want to share with them a bigger picture. And a few ways you can do that is you can have like competitions. People love competitions, right? So actual people will do more for recognition than they will do for money. So if you have small competitions, whether that is get X amount of customers in, something like that, you can have a minor event like, okay, now everyone, we're gonna reach out to teachers. We have this script we're gonna talk about. We're gonna reach out to people that are nurses, so you make it, get people excited about these small things. Because if you just tell people, everybody 10 people every day and do something, but if you make something out of it, okay, now it's teacher week, now it's librarians week, whatever you make, okay, now it's self-development week, we're gonna do, so we make something so it becomes new, so there's a new momentum, so it's not all the same old things. So you create those kind of things, and then you also get the duplication, and when other people are doing things, other will continue. They see other people doing things, and you create the momentum. Everyone doing screenshot, talk to 10 people per day. Everyone sends in their picture of what they've done, and then other people see other people doing it. You get social proof, new people joining, everyone gets excited, and it starts spinning and spinning and spinning. So having these minor competitions and doing these minor events are really great ways of creating momentum for your team.
Well, that's really exciting me to get started. So as a multi-level networker, how does one duplicate your team? Because you might have all the right things, you have the mindset, you've got the commitment, you as a person is consistent. But how do you get that to duplicate in your team?
Great question. Great question. What we have to realize is that whether your organization is moving fast or slow, all depends on you. You cannot take yourself out of the equation. People will do what they see you doing. They don't do what you say, they do what you do. So it's common that when you start having some success, and I've fallen into this trap before, is that you start to have a team together, and then suddenly you back off a bit. You become a manager of those people instead of being on the front lines. So when I'm thinking about this, I'm picturing a scene from Braveheart, when Mel Gibson is having his speech, getting everyone riled up. He was at the front, leading the charge. If he had been on the back, okay, like everybody just run forward to a certain depth, and I'm gonna stand back here and see what happens. Best of luck to you guys. That wouldn't that wouldn't bode so well, So you need to be in the front. You need to lead. You need to the people that you want to have in your team. You have to become that person. The things that you want your team to do, you must do, right? And when you really see the mindset, going through it with that mindset, is that it's never anyone else's fault. It's only you. So you think, how can I improve as a leader? How can I create this momentum? How can I give more, right? How can I lead by example? So if you start thinking in those terms, then it will go much quicker. And even if you have and when you become the next level leader, you will also attract a new kind of people to you. So even if the people say that you have a few people and they just join you because they were friends and whatever, and they might not that all excited, as you continue to improve, which you must do regardless, you will have a completely different crowd being attracted to you. But if you're on this level, you will not attract people up here. Not gonna happen. So you need to go up here, and then they will level with you, and then off to the hills.
If I look at those words behind you, exactly what you're saying. You have to hustle and grind, and
and execute.
And execution.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, everybody would want to see their name on the leadership boards. So how would you recommend that this happens?
Great question. I learned the concept of raising the bar. I've read so many books on sales, psychology, leadership, self-development, self-improvement, you name it. But what I realized is that a lot of them were dealing with strategies and tactics, and that will not change you. So what you want to do is you want to alter your paradigm, right? And what does that mean? You must alter the way you think. And raising your bar is a very perfect example of this. So B stands for belief, A stands for activity, and R stands for results. So if we begin in the other end, if you want a different result, if the result you want is being on the leaderboard, then you go back a step. Okay, then you must have an activity that matches it. Okay, so if we look at this, people that are super successful in their network marketing company, what are they doing? They're on social media, they're on interviews, they're on video all the time, they're speaking from stages, they are up holding presentations to sometimes, you know, hundreds and thousands of people, you know. But if you're not having that activity, you will not get those results. Yeah, of course, you will, as you continuously gradually go up, it's a process, of course. But a lot of times, you know exactly what to do. You know what to do. You know, talk to X amount of people, maybe in your local town, you know, rent a hotel and bring 40, 50 people there, have a presentation, tell them to bring their friend, go up there, share a presentation. Why don't people do that? Okay, then we go back one more step, to belief. Great. The belief is that you cannot do it, but I'm not a leader yet, I can't do it. You know, you have a lot of excuses, you have a lot of insecurities, and as someone says, you will keep your insecurities for as long as you justify them, right? So when you stop justifying why you can't be successful, and you take those and like, oh, I'm not justifying it anymore, then you don't have it, then they go away. They're only because you protect them, they're still there. So what happens is, you can, if you want to change the activity, the results, you want to change the activity, you know what to do, you can talk to people, you can go up and then you say there's fear of rejection, there's this. I'm not the person that does that. I'm bad at public speaking. I'm afraid people will not like, people think my hair is crazy. You know, there's a lot of things that happen. But if you change your belief to, I am someone who does whatever it takes, you know, I'm a super charismatic person, and my mission is to help 1,000 people to become millionaires. And I know for a certain fact that I'm going to meet my top leader at this event. Some will, some won't, but I am going to crush this thing no matter what. Okay, now your activities change and your results will change. It sees, how do you see yourself, right? So a lot of things, the top leaders, you know, I try to find the magic sauce, because they see there are two people, they have 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head. They're not so different from me, but how they think of themselves, the conversation they have in their own mind was different from the one that I had. And they never, I didn't realize this, do this technique. No, it has to change with me, how I see me, what's possible for me, right? That has to change. And this is why I truly recommend you to study Bob Proctor, because we have programs in our mind that go on autopilot. So all the things that we think about ourselves, all our story that we have about ourselves, what we tell us what's possible or not for us, that is someone else has told us, right? Something that we have bought in, and now that's just playing like a broken record player in our mind. We can change this. So if you change the voice in your mind, so I can't do it, I can do this, I have this and this limited beliefs, and you change them like this to the other one, then you will perform do activities that are completely different, that have a completely different result. So, but check out Bob Proctor, rewire your brain for success, because you cannot be successful and be negative at the same time. Doesn't work, right? So check out Bob Proctor, super cool guy. He will tell you, show you tips, strategies for how to alter the way you think, right? Alter the paradigm, how you see yourself and the results you get.
Awesome. Yeah, so the bar, really, if you don't get the results you're really looking for, you need to look at your activity, and activity requires action. So if you're not going to act on your activity, it's also not going to be an activity. And
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So, and if you're doing the right activity, but you haven't got the right belief, you're still not going to get results. So either way, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Thank you.
And now I understand why everyone's talking about mindset. In the beginning, like, okay, give me some technique, give me the perfect script. But it starts here. It starts here.
If
You know?
you're negative, you're not going to get the results that you want, because it starts by your belief,
Absolutely.
programming into your mind. Yeah. Somewhere you have to get started, and often people just get started into a multi-level networking company. How do you actually recruit without any credibility, without any customers? How would you go? What advice would you give to somebody just starting off?
Great question. This was something that I struggled with in the beginning. You know, I was going out there, I knew nothing. I messed everything up. And I tried to do a presentation for people, showing them like, what do you know? Like, you know, we've known each other for a very long time. Like, what do you know? So suddenly overnight, you're some expert in something. No, I don't think you. I don't think so. So what we can do to bridge this is actually with the art of edification and third party, right? So what you can do when you had not had any success yourself, when you don't have credibility in that field, you might be credible in other fields, but not in that one just yet, is that you can use the credibility of someone else, right? For instance, your mentor or your upline. So instead of saying, I have this busy opportunity, I'm gonna be very good and we're gonna do this and this, and like, no, I am working with someone else who is super successful and is willing to teach me how to do it. Now, there's still a couple of spaces open for this mentorship by someone who's been extremely successful, but their time is super, super limited. I'm really grateful that I managed to be a part of this, and that this person is actually helping me to take my business to the next level. If this is something that you would like to do together with me, we can learn and grow together. You know, that would be awesome. But if not, that's perfectly okay. I'm gonna crush this anyway. You know, I'm not satisfied with where I am, and with this person, with their help and the guidance, I know I'm gonna crush it regardless. You know. So what you have there, you build someone up, so you edify them that they are very good. So if you have an upline, say someone is a successful businessman, successful businesswoman, you know, they have a team worldwide and they've been doing this, they have a lifestyle where they can travel, where they can live wherever they want and things like that. You really hype them up, right? You put them on a pedestal, so to speak. Like, this is a really cool person and I'm super, super grateful to be working with them. And then you take the pressure off of you, right? So you know this person, and through you, they can get access to this person, right? And that'd be something that you could do together so that you don't have to prove yourself to whoever you're talking to. Now you can use that. And the great thing about this, when you bring in people, they can do the same thing with you, right? So you take the pressure off someone else, because if we're gonna talk to people, if we know some really sharp people in our network that we want to join, but we don't feel very confident in the beginning because we shouldn't be. We just started. There's so many questions that we haven't thought of that happens, and you're like, no idea. But if you elevate someone else, you edify them, say, this is cool, I really want you to meet this person, I really want you to get an opinion on this business that I just started, super cool, things like that, then you will see a completely different result. So that is my tip. Take it away, take the pressure off of you. It's not about you, right? It's how you can help them, how you can position them, how you can put them in front of information and people that can help them get to where they want. You're just a messenger.
And often in business, it's very much like that. It's who you know. Take you to where you want to be. And taking you out of the equation, edifying somebody else will eventually give you your personal results, which you then can share with others again.
Absolutely.
Lots of people want many people in their team. What would be your top tip of how to get a lot of people?
I would dare to say that the reason why you don't have more people in your team right now is because they don't know you. They haven't heard of you. They haven't seen you. They haven't seen the opportunity. So what we really want is attention. We want people to see us. The more people that we can expose to our opportunity, that we can become friends with, that we can expand our network, the more people would naturally be interested as well, right? So there's so many people I know in, I would probably have a team of tens of thousands in whatever country, but because I haven't talked to anyone there yet, that's never going to happen. And it's never going to happen until they see you, until they meet you, until you reach out to them. So you want a platform, you know, a platform like an amphitheater where you can stand and talk and have a lot of people seeing you, getting eyeballs on you, getting them to know, like, and trust you, getting them to see a presentation. And the best thing, bar none, is social media. One of my mentors said something, because in the beginning I was struggling to talk to people. I talked to all my warm markets, but nobody was interested. And no, like, I'm gonna go out on the street and knock on total strangers, like, yeah, don't want to do that. So what can you do? So he said something that I did not believe at the time. I did not believe it, but I tried it, and I've never looked back since. Here's how it goes. If you create content, people will always come to you, right? So that really shifts your mindset, because when you're seeing, like I was seeing these successful people, you know, seeing them online, I bought their courses and everything, but I never stopped to consider what they were doing. The reason I bought the things from them was because I saw them, I saw the video, I saw the funnel, I saw the advertisement, I saw them, right? And I was doing what they say, what they said, but I didn't do what they do, right? Didn't do what they did. So the person said, if you create content, by creating contents, you provide value in some shape or fashion, like we're doing now. You want to genuinely help people, then people will always be attracted to you, because you have to give first before you can receive. So I started doing videos, and I knew nothing at all. I basically had my phone, I had some light, I had some resemblance of idea of what I wanted to say, but it wasn't very clear out. So I just started talking, and the first video wasn't very good, neither the second, the third, the fourth, not very good. But as time progressed, I started becoming better, and people from now, because I had it online, people I would never ever had a chance of speaking to if it wasn't for me making videos, reach out to me. They said, wow, I like the way you say, I like your energy, I like the way you do business. Thank you so much for the valuable tips you gave me. You really helped me. And you start to build a community. And this doesn't have to be video, but video is by far the most potent. It can be blogs, it can be post, it can be whatever. Just get people to see you and offer value, and people will always flock to you. So you know, the people that had the greatest success, like in my organization, were people that I attracted, or people came to me because of what I did, because of the person I became, of what I did, right? So if you are scared of doing, you know, videos, that's good. That, so was I, but it's definitely worth it, and that is definitely the activity that will get you to the results, right? So if you're continuously creating content, and here, model what works. So if you have someone in your company is doing really well, if that is on YouTube, if that is on Instagram, if there is on TikTok, look at them, Model, don't copy it directly, but model. What are they doing? How long is what are the topics? How long are the videos? What does the thumbnails look like? And you do something, put your own twist on it, put your own spin on it, but do it yourself. Put yourself in front of the camera, and you will have imposter syndrome, meaning, I'm not good enough. Why should anyone listen to me? And but everyone has that. Even the top players out there are still have battle with this imposter syndrome. So, but do it anyway, right? And you will see a lot of people who resonates with you, who like you for who you are, will be attracted to you. And then it's so much easier to do business and build the friendships.
So what you're really saying is just be visible. People need to see that you are visible. And I mean, with social media, there's so much out there you can be doing. There's so many different platforms. We've actually got no excuse. Social media is so
Absolutely.
powerful. Just be visible. Being a woman and going to buy clothes, the shops that attract me into their stores is what they put in their front window. So if it wasn't visible, they wouldn't have attracted me. Very much the same in what we're doing. Be
Absolutely.
visible, let people see you, because they get to like you, they get to trust you, and that is what attracted them in the first place. Not your product, because you've got many products in there they don't know about, but it's what attracted them in the first place, and that is you. So I
Absolutely.
get what you said. This is something that many people fear, and that is objection. What would you recommend to people? How do they actually handle objection when talking to other people?
Great question, right? And this is something that I try to become a master at, right? But I want to share with you, come from this from a different angle. And because in the beginning, I thought you had this kind of group of people that you had around you, they came with an objection, then you had a back and forth and you tried to do the whole convincing game. The fact is that we are in the sorting business, right? You talk to people, see who is open or who is not. If they're not open at this particular point in time, that's perfectly fine. Okay. Those are the people that are not open at this time. They're in that. We sort them into that pile of people, right? Those are people that I will get back to 1 month from now, something like that. See if something has changed. The other people are people who are open. Great. So I'm first just sorting. If someone says, if someone is like being rude, or they're being very nasty in some way, saying all different things about it, or this is a scam, this is a pyramid, or whatever, instead of trying to come up with clever responses and things like that, you're not, that's that kind of person. Thank you very much for taking a look. This is not for everybody, but I hope you find something that suits you better. Best of luck. Keep it short. Don't go in the rabbit hole there. Those are the people that have had a negative experience, and that it's not your thing to figure out. Because here's the thing: when you put focus on the one person that wasn't interested, has a lot of objections, that is very negative, you take the focus of the 10 other people who potentially wants to do business with you, and you only had a limited time and resources. So why focus on the people who don't want to do it, right? You want to focus sorting out quickly who is interested, and then continue with the people that are interested, talking to them, right? So that's what you want to do. And there is something else I thought about too. Uh, After that, when you kind of realize, okay, these are the people that I want to talk to, and then you continue with them, and some of them will want to watch a video, some will watch a video, you continue, and then you follow up with them, and some people are not interested there, so you just sort them out. But there are so many people out there. I met so many great, amazing people, and you shouldn't take your eye off where you're going. If you put time and energy on people that are negative or having a lot of objections, because usually people go to people that they feel comfortable with, maybe someone who has no, not so much business acumen. Maybe they feel that they haven't been out of a job for a very, very long time, not because they couldn't do it, because they were just plain lazy. I know that right now there are a lot of hardworking people out there struggling to find a job every day, and that's a completely different story. But you need to protect your own energy, right? So if someone is negative, that's perfectly fine. You know, cut that off as quickly as you can, politely as you can. Don't go down the rabbit hole, because you need to protect how you feel, right? Don't go down there. Don't go in, lower yourself and start to have a back and forth trying to protect something, because you're not being attacked. So those are the people who have objections. Good. Those are in the objection pile. Those are people who are not open. They're not in the open pile. These are people who are interested. Great. These are people who are very interested. Great. So back with them, and I'm going to focus on these people, because I know where I'm going. I have my vision board in front of me, and as soon as I take my eyes off that, going that way down the negative lane, I'm getting further and further from where I want to go. So how to handle objections? Quick answer: don't. Find someone else.
Move on.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense because, if you're going to be convincing all the time and not sorting, I can guarantee you're going to be convincing that person for the rest of your time as well, to try and actually get them motivated. So just done that, and convincing is not where you want to be. You want to be in people that really want to go where you want to go, who see what you see, and to share your vision.
Absolutely, because just like you say,
don't be harder, be more selective, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Find if you want them in your team.
Yeah, and if they would end up joining, you would have to pull them across the finish line either way, and you don't want to do that,
True.
So you must come from a place of abundance. There's so many people. If they don't want this, perfectly fine. I know where I'm going. I'm not dependent on any individual person. I'm just gonna run with it, and I'll send them a postcard from the Bahamas.
For sure. So tell me, what is the fundamental skills that you need to learn in multi-level networking? You have been in this industry for a long time. Would you like to impart some of your skills?
Yeah, man, absolutely. The first skill that you need to develop is prospecting. You can do that passively or you can do that actively. So you're either reaching out to people actively, that can be people on the street. You can call people if you have a list. You can send out cold messages to people you haven't talked to before, or you can attract people to you with advertising, marketing, right? You make posts, you make videos, whatever, but you need a continuous flow of people that you prospect, people that you can talk to, and that is a skill. So how to find people, whether that is each time you commute to work, you sit down next to the person who's the sharpest dressed and start a conversation, or whether that is sending 10 messages a day on social media, whatever works for you, you need to develop that skill. You need to try different angles, what works, what doesn't. Look at it, take yourself out of the equation, look at it. How can I improve this? What went wrong? What went well? How can I improve these things? So the first fundamental skills is having people to talk to, and really looking at it. And here, learning basic communication, learning, what triggers people, what are, psychological aspects, reading books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, for instance. You get a basic understanding of how the interaction between people is. It's not rocket science, but you need to be consciously aware of what you're doing. right? The second, now you have people to talk to. Now you want these people to, or you want to see if they're open. And that in itself is a skill. Inviting someone to take a look at your opportunity, right? And there are so many wrong things you can do here, right? So if you're on social media, you add someone and you just send them directly a video, you haven't talked to them, you haven't made some kind of rapport, you haven't asked them if they're open, that's just unsolicited spamming. And if you approach someone that you just met on the street, you have a conversation like, hey, I kind of do this thing, I don't know if how it's gonna go, maybe it's something you want to look at, I don't know, maybe do you want to, like, what, like, okay, it's a skill, right? So you develop, again, if you have enthusiasm, you're enthusiastic, you're keeping it very brief. Hey, I have some place I want to go right now. You're super excited about it. You give them a quick trailer. You don't give them the whole movie. The reason why they give you the trailer is for you to go watch the movie, right? They don't give you the ending, right? So you know this, then you ask them. You ask them questions, if they're open, like, what would it mean for you to have a new stream of income? Like, are you satisfied where you are at your work? No, I'm not. I would rather do something else. Okay, what would you rather do? Oh, I would rather do this. Okay, if I could show you a way where you could get out of your job, do something part-time, to earn enough money to get out of your job so you can spend more time on doing riding your motorcycle or playing the piano, would you be open to take a look at that? Like, absolutely, because that's what they want to do, right? And then you just set a time. Okay, hey, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send you a video, or I'm gonna invite you to a presentation, and afterwards I'm gonna give you a quick call, right? What time suits you? I have these two available, and give two suggestions. You have this and this, great. So this video is about 30 minutes long, so if you can watch it at 7:30, I'm gonna give you a call, follow up directly, right? So that's the second. How to talk to people, having people to talk to, how to then showing them, see if they're open, and then doing the presentation, right? Presentation, how to present it. If you have a tool, that's great. If you have a Zoom, that's great. If you have a freeway call, that's great. That has to be, there's also a skill on how you can do it and how you can get people excited. And if you have like a Zoom, or you have a video, just because you send someone a video doesn't actually mean that they're going to watch it, even though they say they would. So that's a skill to learn, to open people up, watch the video, get back at them, and not get back at them, get back to them, and really see what they had in mind, right? So then now we are 3 steps down, and now you want to teach that person to do the same. So you want to have duplication, and you are kind of limited as one person, right? So if you're going to pull all of it, that's going to be very hard. So you want to have other people who can help you. And if you have events in your company, for instance, then that's going to be a really, really helpful tool, because they will see people, they will see other people succeeding, they will hear their testimonials, they will see the new updates, they will see the new products. And if you can have your team plugged into that, that takes the pressure out of your shoulder and gets all of them super, super excited. And all of these are skills, talking to people, how to constantly have people I can talk to, making an invitation that actually people are open to take a look at what you're doing. Free, how do I do the presentation when I'm doing it, right? If I'm doing it on a Zoom, how can I improve that? If I'm sending a video, how do I make sure they actually watch it, right? So they're all skills in it. And the best part about this is just doing it and seeing it as something that you're learning, something that you're processing in, not something, oh, if this person, if I go up to someone, they say no, I'm gonna, roll up into a ball and die. No, it's just a learning process, So those are the fundamental skills that have served me very well. Having those there, then you can add things, but that's like the core things that you want.
What came to mind as well when you were talking about prospecting, it's a lot easier than most people think it is. Just to give an example, you know, you can be sitting at a barbecue at friends, and you be the product of what they need. So let's say, for instance, you're in a health environment and people actually see that you look good, you're healthy, you fit or whatever. They're automatically going to actually ask you about it. So prospecting is really much easier than most people think. You have to be a product of the product that you are actually promoting. If you're promoting a lifestyle or health or wealth or whatever it is, people are going to look at that, and it becomes natural because it's something that you're projecting anyway.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just keep in mind that you are the messenger and not the message. So even if you are, you know, sitting at a cafe somewhere and you have a waiter waiting on you, you know, you're just having a small talk and say, hey, was this the career that you wanted, you know, going out of school? Say, no, I actually want to do this and this and this. Like, okay, how come you're not doing it? Well, you know, money is tight right now, so I have to, you know, build up. I'm doing this on the side so I can afford that. Okay. But if I could show you a way where you could, you know, you see, I'm getting it, and it's very natural, you know. So absolutely, being a product of the product, you know, but also seeing opportunities for helping people, and you must really be in the mindset of this is not something. Oh, I'm gonna get him into my team, and he's gonna do that. And maybe he doesn't want to. It's like, who can I help with this? Who would need this? You know, if you want it or not, you know, it will not affect me in any way, shape, or form, but it will have a huge influence for you. So here is something. Is this something that you're open to? Yeah, well, yeah, I'll take a look, or no, you're perfectly fine. It doesn't matter to me, you know. So it's just people. People are people are people. Don't make it so hard.
The key thing that most people miss about prospecting is you're building up a relationship. Sometimes you talk to a stranger who becomes a friend. You're building up that ongoing relationship with people and not spamming them with information and spamming them with whatever opportunity, but to get their trust and to gain their trust, you actually build up a relationship first. That's where it starts with prospecting.
Absolutely, you know, that and just taking the pressure off of you. You know, sometimes people feel so much pressure talking to a person because they're so, you know, attached to the outcome that, you know, they're just in spirals in their own head, you know. So it's a combination of all of them. But, you know, in the beginning, oh, this is so hard, it's so much, and then it's like, and then when you learn, it's like, it's small again because you're doing the same thing. It's like you go back in a circle back at square one, but then you're like, oh, okay, I started here, I made a hard circle, learning everything. Now I'm back at square one, but now my beliefs changed, my mindset changed, my self-identity changed, and you start doing the things that you were supposed to do from the beginning again. That's what happened for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Knowing that you are enough, that everything that you do, it's okay, you're enough, you deserve all the good things fairly, all of it, you deserve it. You don't have to prove anything. You just being you is, you are worthy of abundance and being on the stage if you so want, having all of it, talking to whomever you want, uh, coming to this realization, the belief factor is so important, because if you mess that up, even if you do the right activity, but you're not believing in yourself, you will just really you know, hinder yourself, self-sabotage in so many ways. So wrapping your mind around, and this is where continuously listening to audiobooks, reading books to help you to understand, especially before going to bed. If you have something that you want to happen, you have affirmations, you create your own reality, you switch the way you swing. So whatever that you want to have, you must live in that now. You must not, when that happens, I will. No, it's already happening now. I'm happy and grateful because the life that I want is happening right now. It must be so clear for you. You have a vision of where you're going. And what happens is, from the morning you wake up, you will have a energy inside of you and an enthusiasm that's pulling you forward. You know, you don't have to push yourself. You're being pulled. You know, you have so much energy, so much enthusiasm that you want to spread out to other people, that it will happen almost automatically. All the things that were so hard for you, yes, before, you will just jump into, or talk to a lot of people, have a Zoom, yeah, great, have a presentation in front of a lot of people in a hotel, cool, let's do it. But it must come from the inside. You know, no matter what the strategies and things that you learn, you must get your mind right. You know, see yourself as a winner, see yourself, feel yourself driving the car that you want to drive. You know, when you turn the ignition, you should get, you know, goosebumps of the spine because you hear your engine roaring. Vroom! Feel it, see it, believe it, and then live it as it's happening now, and be happy and grateful until that manifests into your reality. You know, all the other techniques, all the strategies, they're fine, they're dandy, but when you have this, everything will fall into place, and everything, people that you talk to, they will be so attracted to your enthusiasm, your passion, that people will flock to you, and everything. You will not be fighting an uphill battle doing anything. You will not, oh, should I do this video, should I not do it? You will just do it. You know, you will dream. So I don't know what that skill is, the skill of self-awareness, skill of changing your paradigm, but that has been the fundamental key factor that I missed for the first couple of years in network marketing. That really, really made a huge difference, because, you know, I am the same person as I was then, but at the same time I'm not. You know, that's, you know, that's what I can share that.
Yes. And thinking about that, which is what is really true, is that we can learn from people. We can learn by what they do, what they say, what they teach. One thing that they can never teach you is to be you, because every single person is unique. And never forget who you are, because your uniqueness is completely different to somebody else. I can meet people on a different level to somebody else, and you can meet somebody on a different level than me, because you are different. So we need to always remember that we are unique in every single way. We can learn from others, but never try and be others. Never try and be them. Be yourself. And when you do that, it becomes a natural thing.
Absolutely. You know, doing things that feels natural for you, how you express yourself. If you have quirky jokes, you know, do it. You know, be you. You know, the way that you show joy and happiness and passion and enthusiasm will look so much different from the way others do it. But just express what you feel.
Yes.
You know, how you feel it, the way you do it, and you will attract a tribe of people that resonates with you, with your message, with your vibe, with your energy, and you can start from there to really big something much, much bigger.
The information that you provided, the good nuggets you gave us, I want to thank you. Thank you for your time as well. I know your time is valuable, and that you are able to actually spend this time with me answering all these questions and, you know, sharing your skills with us. For people out there that really want some help, people that are stuck in either in a business or in a network or in a level that they just feel they're not getting anywhere. You can reach out to us and we can chat to you, even if it's just click on the link and let us chat to you, let us help you, let us advise how to go forward. You know, we want to motivate you to reach out to us. And Marcus, I'm sure, you know, you won't mind assisting as well and helping them.
Absolutely.
As you have helped me in the past and how you're helping me, it's been a great learning curve, like I said right in the beginning. So thank you, and thank you for your time, And thank you for sharing this time with me as well.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thanks.